All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 302 Sports. I'm Benny Mitchell. With me tonight, Marvin Dooley, newly retired head wrestling coach at William Penn High School. But don't worry, folks, he's still be coaching football and baseball. Marvin, we're going to be playing some catch-up here. As we found out, internet Wi-Fi's in the state of Delaware don't allow live streaming, so we had to go to a hotspot. We're on, and we're here at 126 pounds, where we have Jesse Mawaka, state finalist from Wilmington Charter. And not very often you get a state finalist from Wilmington Charter, one of the larger schools in the Blue Hen Conference, and he's up against who we got here, Jake Taylor out of Unionville, and we're 3-2 here in a pretty clse match so far. Marvin, tell us what we've seen.
Well, Milwaukee's really wrestled well. He gave up one. It was 0-0 first period. The second period, young man got an escape from PA, and then Milwaukee got a nice takedown on the edge of the mat on a could have been a controversial call, but really was a nice takedown. And now we're 3-2 and in the third period, and Jesse's been in the match just in the state finals and lost one like this in the state finals.
That's correct. Milwaukee won I would say an upset in the semifinals over Nick Navarnik of St. George's, and then he went up against maybe one of the hottest kids in the state of Delaware going through the state tournament, Rashad Stratton, who had his only 2 losses this season were at the Beast of the East. Stratton after that went on a tear, and again a close match in the state finals with Stratton beating Milwaukee, and we're going to go to blood time here.
Now, being in the Blue Hen Conference at Milwaukee, we faced a lot. Milwaukee is a wrestler, gets stronger as the periods go on. He gains momentum. 31 seconds left. He's up 3-2. I really favor him now. He really gets better as we get going in these matches.
Stratton's last loss to a Delaware opponent was to Milwaukee in the state tournament in 2016. And Milwaukee almost got it. They had 3 matches this year. All 3 were close matches.
Now
Stratton was able to get all 3 of them this season.
Now I've had the luxury of watching Milwaukee form as an athlete. Rigby done a good job with him. He came in. He was probably not a wrestler. Probably got recruited out of hallways, and Reese Rigby done a great job at Charter. Really watched him grow as a wrestler.
Let me do a little catch up here, Marvin, of what we've seen so far, folks. Hopefully, we will be able to have the other videos uploaded. The first match at 106 pounds, Justin Altraghi, he won a 6-4 decision over Delaware Military's Dylan Peters. And then 170 pounds, Brendan Marion won a 6-1 decision over Corey Lawson of Cape Henlopen. Corey Lawson was a 2-time state champ out of Cape Henlopen High School. And then at 195 we jumped to, and it's an 11-2 major decision for Ryan Mortimer for Pennsylvania over Milford's Dominique Hovington. Hovington third in the state this season. Mortimer from Garnet Valley, Central League champion, second in District 2, 5th in the region, and state's qualified. One thing we see here is interesting, Marvin, is then we go to 120 where Jacob Reed pinned Salais Adams, Andy Lynch. Jacob Reed out of Westchester Henderson, he was a Chestmont League champion and fourth in the region state qualifier. But what's interesting, Marvin, is we're looking at these lineups, and you don't see any state champs coming out as PA team, but they're tough and they're winning the dual meet 16-0 right now. And granted, we're missing a few state champs here for Delaware, but it just shows how tough that area of wrestling is.
Well, PA's one of the best states in wrestling. But they have shown here in the first 4 or 5 matches their power in just their region. You talk about the South District Region number 1, and the first match was really an excellent match. Peterson against the Altraga was 6-4. Peters almost got back points, would have sent in overtime. The other matches have been pretty one way. I was shocked to see Corey Lawson kind of got. Marion really wrestled him really tough, and Lawson's an excellent wrestler out of Cape Henlopen.
Right. Marion, his high crotch was on point. He was level change, boom, he was in, and he was finishing.
I was excited to see some of the. I wish Delaware. I wish we ended a little bit later. Would help, I think, our conditioning, and I think we lose a lot of guys that play other sports. Sure. It's been like 4 weeks. You look at our list of guys we got. We're missing some of our seniors,
missing some
top
state
seniors,
champs,
which really help us in. PA's got a district, but really their district probably bigger than our state.
Yeah, I remember when Delaware we used to do this with South Jersey.
Yes.
And South Jersey, just the one district in South Jersey was like 100 schools. And Delaware, I think, maybe 55 schools now, and not all of them have wrestling. So you're talking about 40 to 50 wrestling programs in the state of Delaware. And let's face it, some of those are half teams and such.
Now I was fortunate to coach a few of them teams, all-star teams over the years. I think I was head coach maybe 2 or 3 times, and assistant a few times, but I wrestled in the match in
Right.
1987 as
Right.
a wrestler. When I think it first started in '84. But they've always, South Jersey was always loaded.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And it looks like PA ain't far behind them.
No, yeah, you're right. Well, you look at the NCAAs this weekend and the power of the PA wrestlers as far as All-Americans go. So here we go with 31 seconds to go here in the third period. Milwaukee leading 3-2.
3-2. Milwaukee's got to stay on the attack, though. I mean, he needs to attack.
And as you said, he's a late starter. I think Stratton was up 4-1 going into the third period. Ended up winning 5-4.
Yeah, I said I've been fortunate to watch him grow. He's a third period wrestler. A lot of Rigby's guys are third period wrestlers. He's changed the culture and charter, and this is one of the kids that bought into him.
Wilmington charter, the former Wilmington High School.
Red Devils.
The Red Devils, and we're starting to get a little bit of that PC culture here in Delaware as Conrad, I'm going to start calling them Conrad Athletic Program, as they have disbanded the Redskin name. And as we're going up here against, I think it's the Unionville Chiefs here from. That's going to be the first win from Delaware, 16-3. Milwaukee with a 3-2 decision.
Yeah, that was Milwaukee. Like I say, he wrestled tough. That was an excellent match. Both kids wrestled great. The kid Taylor just missed a few scores. It was Milwaukee against Delaware on the board.
So here we go at 132 pounds for Pennsylvania. Eric Fuentes from Norristown, he's 31-7, career record of 103-41, Pac-12 league champion, second in the region. He's a state qualifier. He'll be going up against Jesse Arlette, 37-14 this season, fourth in the Hennepin Conference state qualifier. Arlette just got his confirmation. He's going to the Naval Academy.
Oh, that's very nice. Jason say it was 37-14 on
out
the
of
season.
Indian River High School. They have him listed in the program as Milford. He is a Indian River Indian under Coach Jeff Windish.
Indian River had a heck of a season this year too. They were
a couple guys, a couple state place winners, or a few state place winners. State runner-up, and Will Rain came out of my club, the Hennepin Hammers. Will Rain, a freshman, and he's probably going to be back at 106 this year. He came in the Mawas on Saturday, weighed 104.5, so he will be back at 106, and I would think be the favorite at 106 next year. And he was another kid we talked about that he came on strong in that third period, and Zach Spence just had a little too much for him early on. But here we go, first period, Fuentes and Arlette.
They're locked up in a kind of upper body move here. Nothing going on. Back to the center.
32 for State of Delaware, Arlette, not a state place winner, but that weight class, Marvin, won by an impressive freshman, Jackson Dean out of Cesar Rodney. Beat defending state champ Greg Baum in both the Hennepin Conference and the state finals. That was a pretty competitive weight class this season.
The kid from CR really impressed me throughout the season. It's pretty close to you, and Benny, your son was a big contributor to that one, right?
Coach, yeah, he was. He coached the 106s through the 132s, and I tell you what, when maybe the happiest person in the gym was Trey Mitchell, the assistant coach, and Dan Rigby for that kid. And as you remember, Jackson it was like business, just walked off the mat and like it was supposed to happen.
Well, it's great to see Trey. I mean, I know he's your son, but I know Trey as a wrestler and as a young man. It's great to see our young guys get back into the sport and give back to it.
Absolutely. Called me in January of his senior year of wrestling in college and told me there's only 3 weeks left. What do I do after this? I said, what do you coach?
I mean, Trey's going to be a good one. I mean, Trey's passionate about the sport. Well, you've coached at Benny all your life as well. Right. So I think our sport's dying because of that. We need young guys to get back into it and get the fire going again.
Absolutely. And we talked about, rebuilding youth wrestling up here, middle school wrestling in Newcastle County, which is one of your goals for next year. And us downstate guys get to jab you guys in the ribs a little bit and talk about 10 state champs last 3 or 4 years in a row, and it's all in fun, and I know some people get upset about it on the message boards, but it's going to take, and that's what we got down there. We got young guys giving back in youth programs and middle school programs, and it's you and Vic Leonard have talked about it, and Tommy Abbott, and that's the plan for Newcastle County, and I think it's the right way to go.
Well, we've got to get wrestling's got to be built from the bottom up. I mean, back when the Blue Line Conference probably was your best conference,
right?
Our CYO programs were outstanding up here. Now we've lost all that.
So CYO left in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s. So we're 1-0 Arlette with the escape. 16-3 is your team score. Pennsylvania District 1 South in the lead.
Yeah,
Arlette in on a shot. It looks like a little switch here by Fuentes. Arlette trying to get the boot in with the half. Nothing yet. He gets the takedown, 3-0. Jared Arlette. So here's a guy that, didn't place in the state, was number 4 in the conference. And, he's up 3-0 against one of the All-Stars here from Southeast Pennsylvania.
Well, that was a nice little scramble there, too. He got in there, then the kid from Fortis, he kind of countered him, and then he actually countered back. So it was actually a good little
of course, being 4th in the Henley from conference is that's nothing to sneeze at. Right now, it is the dominant conference in the state, and
well, the Henley Conference is really one above now. I mean, they've really taken off. Probably the last 7 years have really been a powerhouse. I mean, they've been the upper hand on.
Right. They've won several of the dual meet state championships. Milford's won 4 in a row. Sussex Central prevented Smyrna this year from winning their 5th. And I think in Division I, we're on like a 7-year run of Henley Open Conference teams winning it. I think the last upstate team to win would be St. Mark's, 2010, I believe.
It's been a while. I know that I think the dual meet state tournament for team this year was the best we've ever had.
Right.
I think, in my opinion, that was just
this year's state duels was the best dual meet state tournament ever. Both championship matches came down to the last match.
Last match, exactly right. I mean, they were excellent to watch. I think every match was competitive except mine. I mean, to be honest with you, that they all were competitive.
And you had a couple of reversals. You had Cesar Rodney had beaten Dover on the last night of the season. Dover comes back, beats them in the quarterfinals. Cape Henlopen had beaten Sussex Central in January. Sussex Central turns around. That match came down to the last match of the night, and it was a battle of 2 defending state champs at 160 between Brandon Bautista and Corey Lawson, who wrestled here tonight, to decide who went to the finals to meet Smyrna. And I think a lot of people coming in thought this is Smyrna's year to get 5 in a row, and a big pin by Stratton at 126, and a win at 160, and Sussex Central carries Phil Schultai out of the gym after his last dual meet after a 40-year. And I said after that match, I said, Central won on emotion. Sussex Central won that match on determination and emotion.
Well, I think wrestling, people don't realize. I know it's an individual sport, but it's about matchups. I think if Cape Henlopen would have won, Smyrna matched up great with Cape Henlopen, but they didn't match up great with Sussex Central.
Right, exactly.
And I think everybody. I mean, they're looking at the dual meet. I mean, they were back and forth, and they beat Sussex Central by about 12 or 13.
Right. Yes.
But
that was without state champ Blake Chambers, but in that dual meet too, and.
That was a big difference in the 145-pound match that got reversed from a 5-4 decision to a 5-1 decision in favor of Sussex Central was the deciding point. And Chambers wrestled well from then all the way through the conference within the states.
Yeah, he was like ranked 5th or 6th in the state before Battle at the Beach. Twists his ankle, misses the Cape Man, misses almost the entire month of January, and then just goes on a tear and wins the state title. Correction in the score with 2-2 here. Fuentes now looking for a turn, gets the 2. Holding 2 is the referee. So he's going to go up 4-2.
Thank you. He rewarded him the 2 points now. Now he's got a chance. He's got to get to a base and get an escape here. Or reversal to tie it up.
55 seconds to go here in the match. 4-2 as Marvin said. As Marvin talked about, back in his day, they wrestled South Jersey. And I think South Jersey just turned into the guys that organized it, got a hold and got out. And there's nobody to pick it up. So Donna Silvestri for Condo picks up Southeast PA, which is kind of her neighborhood. And so we have a nice new little rivalry going here at the end of the season.
I think you're exactly right, Ben. I think the South Jersey dropped just because the people that ran South Jersey.
Right.
I just wish we would get more involved, or our guys would try to stay in shape a little bit, and our state champs would show up. I mean, Donna Silvestri and the DWA does a great
job.
job.
To our right do a great job.
I mean, they do a fantastic job of putting this on, and I think we as athletes should try to be here.
And we are using college out-of-bounds rules, folks.
I wish high school would go that college out of bounds.
I think the only thing that's keeping them from is the size of the mat, probably.
Yes.
You know, everybody would have to buy a new mat. I think if you're going to make a rule change like that, you got to say in 5 years you have to get this size mat, or put some borders around it. Might be the cheaper way to go is just order some borders.
Yes. I mean, it really is it's a game changer. I mean, that is a
Absolutely is a game changer when you can score with a pinky in, and that's going to be a win for Fuentes, 4-2, and PIAA goes up 19-3. As we're going to move to 138 pounds. So we'll have two 138-pound matches here tonight. The first one's going to feature Mohammed Kaba out of Academy Park, 33-9 this season, 87-40 career record. Del Val league champion, second in the district, fourth in the region, and he's a state qualifier. He goes up against Anthony Fisher of Dover, 47-3, 129-36 career record. Henlopen Conference champ, two-time Henlopen Conference champs, and a 2017 state champion, and maybe I thought one of the most, maybe not flashy or exciting wrestlers, but this is a guy that controlled his opponents all year long. He beat defending state champ Dante Mediato, I think, 3 times this season.
Yeah, all 3 times it came down to, the first 2 times it was, Fisher kind of rode him out, but Mediato got out in the States. It came down to a takedown. Fisher's wrestled tremendous all year. I mean, Coach Harris from Dover, who was a state champ himself out of Cesar Rodney. You can see this kid grow over the years, too. And
right.
I agree with you. I think Fisher is one of the best all-around guys we've had in the state this year.
Class kid, met him at the conference. You don't want to wrestle a final against him in Dover's gym, let me tell you. His junior year, and we'll see a guy later on tonight, Chase Arganzo, maybe one of Delaware's top wrestlers in this class. Fisher beats him in overtime in the conference championship match, comes back to states and gets pinned by Arganzo. And then this year's state tournament held in Dover's gym, so he's hot in that Dover gym.
Yeah, Dover's got I don't know if you've ever been to Dover. People haven't been there. It's a beautiful gym. Fisher wrestled tough there all year and in the States, and then Fisher just went up 2-0 here.
A little bit of a high half and underhook here. Gets back to the wrist. Look at him step
score,
over.
Scoring.
Getting some swipes.
You settle in here. You got a chance to get a stick.
Yeah, Fisher, not known as a pinner, usually wins a lot of tight matches. He's looking for the fall here with 48 seconds to go. And with the college out of bounds, there's nowhere to scoot.
Nope. Now keep one toe in. You're good. Keep one toe in.
That's what Fisher does. Circles right back in.
Foot exactly right.
And he's going to get 3 back up 5-0. I'm not sure what Fisher's post-high school plans are. His coach, Aaron Harris, wrestled at Del Valley.
He could definitely wrestle at the next level. Yeah, you got to find a slot that you want to be in. I know he's an excellent student.
Right.
I believe they gave him 3 points there.
They did give him 3, but they're having a problem with the clock right now. The clock is going to run all the way down as we went out of bounds.
Fisher go 5-0 here, still on top. Benny, you were correct when you were saying he has been a big pinner. He's been a guy who's right. Hard to score on.
Right.
And his big matches are always tight. I think Dover is an up and coming program.
Yes, they are. I talked to Aaron Harris after they lost to Smyrna and talked about how they're going to be there one day. They're going to be there. The last time they were there, Coach Harry Rigby was the coach. Took them to a couple state dual finals and crowned quite a few state champions. And
I can remember going down there when Jack Holloway and the Colonials would go down in that gym, at Double Decker Gym, in
right.
the old school.
All the old school, yeah.
And they used to pack them in with Harry Rigby. And if you know anything about Coach Harris, he will have Dover on the map there in a few years. There's no doubt in my mind.
Absolutely. Smyrna, I think we start talking Delaware wrestling next year. I think Smyrna still probably has to be the favorite coming into 2018, 2017, 2018. Dover's going to make some noise. I think the team, Sussex Central, I think is going to be tough. I think the team that everybody better watch out for in the Division I is probably Cesar Rodney. They lost almost nothing.
Sierra got better as the year went on, too.
Right.
They've the upper weights were where they're questionable, but they got a lot better as they went on.
Right, I think they lose 2 seniors, and that's it. And
they have a good quality program, too, with young kids program, which is good.
Slays the Animals, a young team. They do lose a couple big guys, but they got quite a few people coming back. Coach Cameron Davis just is now walking out of the gym. He's here tonight supporting his Sally's guys. Blue Hen Conference-wise, Middletown and William Penn Charter again, I would think.
Yeah, I think coming back, if I had to say, William Penn returns a lot. I mean, we were younger this year. We didn't lose a whole lot. Middletown lost some significant guys. I mean, some guys, big scorers for them.
Right.
And I think Charter has a lot back, too. Now, I believe William Penny, you would say, would have it more on paper, but just because we have the upper weights. I mean,
Right.
A lot of schools are having trouble getting upper weights. You got to get your football players out to get the upper weights.
Exactly. I would say coming into 2017, 2018, if I had to rank Division I, I'd have to go with still Smyrna 1, Sussex Central 2, Dover, Caesar Rodney, Sally's, and that bunch. Who improves as the year goes on? And both Dover and Caesar Rodney showed the improvement they made from beginning to end last year. Smyrna's going to the transfer from Caravel that had to sit out the season, like upper weight, like an 82-pounder. So he'll be back on. I can't think of the name right now.
Now, I do agree with that. I think Smyrna's your front runner. I think Sussex Central's right there. But two teams you have to watch out for, I believe, is Dover and CR.
Dover and CR, yes.
I believe they're the two teams have a lot of young guys. If they have good summer and improve over the summer and come into the season, both of them could shock a lot of people. I do think Smyrna, if they stay where they're at, they should be above people.
Right.
But as you can see this year, they were above them at the beginning of the year and they got caught.
Right.
So
right.
I mean, that's why you wrestle the season.
And that's a free release by Fisher and a takedown. He goes up 7-1 to end the first period. And Smyrna's the hot school right now, Marvin. State champs in football, state champs in basketball. And I understand they lose their quarterback, Nolan Henderson, to Delaware, and they're getting a transfer in out of Glasgow.
Yes.
So
was excellent football. I found that out firsthand. But
I remember before the game he said, if we can do this and we can do that, we can play with these guys. And I think about, 5-6 minutes into the game.
Found out our speed couldn't match.
That's right. And playing on turf, playing on the carpet, they're even quicker.
I mean, they were very talented. I mean, I knew last year, I think athletically they were a little ahead of us. But you're hoping for things to go your way a little bit if you get a break early. But, of course, we didn't get a break early.
Right.
Fisher's up 7-1 here.
7-1 here, minute 36 to go.
He methodically has put that 7-1 lead up there, jumped out 5-0. And then
again, him and Arcangelo, like I said, neither one are flashy wrestlers, but they just slowly, meticulously put points on the board, and they tilt well. They were both excellent on their feet. We're going to be seeing Arcangelo up in a couple of matches.
Well, they both keep the pressure on the guy they're facing. I mean, they don't let up the pressure; keep the pressure on the guy they're facing. So he never gets to be offensively. I mean, these guys are always on the offensive, even when they're in the defensive position.
Right. Fisher here with a crab ride in the high half. Looking to go hip over and run that half, and that's what he's doing there. Takes the hand to the mat. But Kaba able to work his wrist out and get out of it.
Keith Mumford, our head official tonight, he had a 1 count, didn't get the 2 count.
Fisher looking for a banana split here.
Now, Benny, how you feel about the college 4-point back points?
I don't like. I like it, but I think they went the wrong way with it. You have to do less to get more.
Yes.
They took it from a 5 count to a 4 count, and 3 points to 4. I was fine with just making it 4 points.
Right, with a 5 count.
Yeah, and the 5 count. But they made it a 4 count. My son was wrestling that last year when they were doing that. I saw a lot of college matches that were being ended in that first 3 minutes because, a guy gets in and he gets a tilt, he changes hands and boom,
right.
a takedown and 3-4 tilts and you've won the match.
Yeah, I like the 4 points. I do agree with the 4 points. I would like to see the 5 count.
Yeah, I didn't like the fact that they took the 5 count away. And like I said, you're doing less to get more, and it's just not how life works in the long run.
Looks like Kaba got to escape. We're on our feet now. It's 7-2.
2.1 seconds.
2.1 seconds.
So Fisher looking to get Delaware back. Still got a minute to go, and I believe Fisher's choice.
Fisher takes bottom now.
He is going to take bottom. 2 minutes on the clock. Fisher looking to get Delaware back on the board. Coming up next, state runner-up Luke McDonough, 3-time state runner-up. A lot of injuries through his career. He had a tough go. We'll talk about him in a minute. Right now it's Anthony Fisher, the Dover Senator.
Wow.
Last Dover, Marvin, who was the last Dover state champion before Anthony Fisher?
Did Mosley win the state championship?
Mosley, he won one, but there was one after him.
How about Dean Waite? Did Dean Waite win
Jamel
one?
Jones.
Jamel Jones, right. Didn't come back for a senior year.
That's correct.
Missed the senior year.
New Jersey,
New Jersey, yes. Jamel Jones.
He is now fighting in the MMA, 2-time JUCO state champ. I want to say that was in the 90s, late 90s when he
Fisher's
won
in trouble here. Fisher's on his back.
Yes, run a half over. Fisher in trouble. Minute 25, and we're in the middle of the mat. And a pin.
How quickly things change there.
Absolutely. And maybe if you get that 40 seconds back, maybe take neutral again. So that's a pin for the District 1 South All-Stars. They go up 25-3, and we move to the second match as each team gets to pick a wild card here, and the wild card weight for Delaware was 138 pounds. So we're going to see Zach Alfernani, which we have no information on, and he's going up against Luke McDonough out of Sanford School. 14-5 record this year, 75-9 in his career. He's the independent conference champ, and as we said, a 3-time state runner-up. And we can tell you that Zach is from Marple Newton because that's the uniform he comes out on the mat with. But let's talk a little bit about Luke McDonough. And just the last 2 seasons, he missed the end of his junior year. I believe it was an ankle injury, and missed most of this year with a knee. This kid, just last half of his high school career, was injury riddled.
Yeah, Luke was he came in really hot as a 9th grader, and then of course he had injuries. Was a 3-time finalist.
3-time finalist. Lost to Brent Fleetwood as a freshman. Surprise lost. Was it Cody Stevens that beat him from Polytech as a sophomore?
And he really has missed a lot. It's a shame.
Gets a takedown here. Goes up 2-0.
Now, me and Luke go way back. I don't know Luke's dad played defensive end with me at William Penn High School. We were bookends for about 3 years.
Right.
So, Jimmy McDonough's father. So,
got a younger brother as he was junior. Wrestled 132 this season.
Sanford's another school. Sanford can fill all the weight classes. They've got a decent team.
Well, I said the thing that's going to prevent Sanford from ever being a power is the no football program. Without those guys, I mean, they had to stretch 60-pounders to 70 and 82 to fill lineups, and they were in the state finals 3 years ago, losing to Milford. To Dan Rigby, who was now at Cesar Rodney, was the coach of Milford, and got his first state title that year.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think the football program, you don't have it to get them upper weights, it kills you. I mean, they get the lighter weights, and they're tougher than them lighter weights too. I mean, this year they had 6 guys. This year could go with most of anybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
But nothing after that.
And 3 of them, well, they lost. Andrew Brooks came back late in the season, defending state champ, and
he came back late.
A lot of Matt Rust, and but he was still 3rd in the state, I believe, or 4th in the state. But he's only a junior; he'll be back. And then they had Lamy, who went out with a knee injury this season, and
then they lost to one kid that went to Ohio.
Nico Chilson.
Chilson.
Watch the mixer here, and doesn't get it, so able to work his way back out 2-1 here. 7 seconds to go.
I'll tell you what you see, Benny. So if you look at these matches, you see the far better conditions Pennsylvania's in than we are.
Right.
And that's where that 4-week layoff.
Yes.
You know, I know kids, and I can't blame them. You go through a hard season. You want to shut it down a little. Your body's beat up.
Right.
But now it shows in this match like this. You can tell Peter's in a lot better condition.
We, speaking of that, Milford is one of the Team Delaware sites for our off-season practice, and I've been down there running the practices with Don Parsley, and I kind of, to keep the kids out, keep them interested. We didn't do a lot of conditioning, and but it showed at the Mahwah tournament this weekend. And I sat them all down and said, hey, if you're going to compete, you got to get back in shape. And if you're not going to do it on your own, we're going to do it here. And so went a lot more live yesterday, did a lot more live drill, and
in wrestling, I've seen many guys lose from being tired.
Right.
I always say fatigue makes a coward out of all of us.
Right.
I mean, in wrestling, you ain't got the win. Ain't much you can do. I believe that's what happened to Fisher. I think Fisher just ran out of gas.
Right.
I mean, he wrestled great for 4 minutes.
All right, we're watching McDonough here. It looks like he's in great shape. But then again, he didn't come back. He didn't come back till late January. It was like a question whether he was even going to compete in the conference tournament this year. So this may be his season. A match like tonight where he just by state tournament coming back with 2-3 weeks. He just probably wasn't ready at that point. Right. And but he's on fire right now.
Well, he came back. He wrestled great. I mean, I'm glad he come back for the young man, but my kid Ryan Ruiz got to see it 3rd. I was excited about being 3rd. I saw that he was 6th.
Got 6, yep. I said when I saw that bracket that was 2/3 seeds.
Yeah, right. I personally think he should have been the 2. We should have been 3 and 4.
Right.
Even if we fell to 4, the Dover kid went to 3. I was okay with that.
Right.
He was a true 2 seed in my opinion.
Yes, true.
He didn't have the matches, and I understand the criteria that they have and stuff like that. But he truly was a 2-time finalist. He definitely was a 2 seed in my opinion.
And as a matter of fact, I believe he did not wrestle. The 2C got knocked out prior to on Friday night, I believe. Nick Lee from Dover was knocked out before.
Yes, but that's what we came back and
So
had
he
a
beat the
wrestle.
7th seed.
Yeah, we both got beat. 3 and 2C got beat.
Right.
Now we never wrestled the Dover kid during the regular season. We lost. We wrestled Fisher twice and lost both times to Fisher.
The Canal Classic was a great. 138 was and 145 both were great weight classes. You had Immediata, you had your better. I think Juarez wrestled 38 and then you had I don't believe McDonough was back yet, but you had Fisher. So you had three top flight guys in that one little, and it was a round robin tournament, which made it even more fun to watch. So under a minute to go here, second period, 2-2. McDonough will have choice in the third. And I said it, like I'm going to say it again. He looks like he's in great shape, Marvin. He got in the room and worked out and was ready to rock and roll.
Well, he's probably still got a lot of energy in him.
Right,
the guy's been wore down, which is great. Plus the kid loves the sport. I know his father, his family, and he loves the sport. And he's probably missed it for a while.
Sure.
Get the chance to go back. He's going to wrestle in college.
Where's he going to school?
I'm not positive. I know he told me. His dad did tell me, but I don't remember offhand. But he is definitely. That's why he came back, to make sure they could see him, so he can make sure he get.
3 Delaware wrestlers make it to the NCAAs this year, Marvin, in Division I.
That was impressive. It was great to see Fleetwood gets the number 1 seed off the get-go.
2 years in a row. Well, not that he gets Gilman 2 years in a row.
Yeah. It was great to see the kid from Caravel be
Ryan
All-American. Ryan Wolf, 7th, right?
7th, correct. Yep.
Outstanding to see him be an All-American.
Class of 2012 out of Caravel Academy, state champ, wrestler of the year that year, and that's going to be a takedown for McDonough on the edge. He goes up 4-2.
So getting back to Wolf, it was great to see him, from Delaware. See the kid. My son wrestled him. He tech followed my son a couple times in his senior year. So, but he was really class act kid.
Fleetwood out of Smyrna. Wolf out of Caravel, and then there was Zach Parker, the heavyweight from Ohio, who came from Cesar Rodney. He also went down 0-2, but got there number 4 in the MAC, and I think he was seeded number 1, and he got one of the wild cards to get in. But 3 Delaware wrestlers make it to the NCAA tournament. A couple Division III guys. You had Avante Drummond, who was ranked at one point number 8 in the nation, and I just talked to him. He was at my house this weekend to watch the NCAA's championships, and talked about what happened at the regionals and just what we call the semi-slide. It takes a tough loss in the semis, and when a guy goes to a tournament as the defending region champ, you go there to get that gold again. It's tough to bounce back.
Well, it's tough in national tournaments. People don't say we see Delaware wrestle. We don't see the whole country.
Right.
McDonough got another reversal here. It goes up 6-2. Third period, 1:25 to go. And like you said, Ben, he looks fresh.
Yep.
He looks really fresh out there. I love these college rules right here. Keep one toe in, keep wrestling.
Yep. Minute 15 to go on the restart. 6-2. Luke McDonough. And looking to put an exclamation point on his career, as like we said, injury-ridden throughout the last half. And here's a kid that's getting a chance, as we pick 38 as the wild card weight, to go out on a high note.
And he's a kid that deserves to be here.
Sure.
It's good to see him go out. He didn't have much practice time to get ready for the conference in the state.
Sure.
So.
As I said, he's fresh.
55 seconds to go. Up 6-2.
And there he goes, wrist and a half, looking to jump over and run it. 45 seconds to go in the match. We're at Ada Pont High School. Ada Pont High School back, 70s? Was like the team in Delaware, a couple state titles here.
Yeah, AI, back when I wrestled, AI was one of our, with Coach Lasney was here.
Right.
I always enjoyed my rivalries with Vic Leonard. Me and Vic go back a long way, another ex-colonial, but
right.
When Vic was here, they were as good as anybody too.
Right.
A couple Division II, they were right in the Division II hunt. Then
that's right. They dropped down, and they dropped down to Division II for a while. And you got a lot of schools going back and forth up here. We don't see that as much down south with the division changes. But I remember AI when the duel started, they were, and that's going to be a 6-2 win for Luke McDonough out of Sanford School. But you got a lot of that switch up here, and then right after that, the power of Hodgson came in Division II with Jerry Lamy.
Well, Hodgson and St. George are both Flight A next year.
That's correct.
Both of them guys are moving up. Mount Pleasant and AI moved down. So
that's going to make with St. George's moving out, Sanford losing a lot of guys and on their kind
I think St. George's is the most talent coming back in Play Day. If you go with them coming up,
but they have to move to Division I.
Yes. But they have everybody. They don't lose much.
And this thing, if they can stay in Division II another year, I mean, Milford's losing a few guys. They got a couple of nice lightweights coming up from their middle school program. I'm hearing a couple kids talking about either using their school choice or moving to go to that school. A couple different places. I got state champ Robbie Rosser back, but I think St. George's could have been a chance to get another title. But I think with them going, I don't know who in Division II can wrestle with Milford next year.
I don't see a whole lot.
I mean, Indy River was strong this year, but losing Arlette, and they're losing a couple upperweights, and they're still
lose more cozy, right?
Cozy, yeah.
They lose a lot. This is Chase Arcangelo here.
3-time Delaware state champion. Career record of 139-23, 43-4 this year. Won his third conference title, third state title. He's headed to Cleveland State next year, and he's up against Brent Wendell. Coatesville, 17-3, 83-38 overall career. Chestmont League champ, district champ, second in the region, and a state qualifier, and he gets the takedown.
Chase gets the escape.
Shot, deep double by Arcangelo. And this Wendell kid looks like he don't mind you shooting on because he likes to scramble.
Yeah, he looks like he wants to do the funk stuff. I mean, roll around. If you watch the NCAA finals this week, or just the tournament, you see a lot of this year. A lot of this roll around. Guys want you to get into them.
Right.
Little flurry, no point scored. 2-1 still.
He's a state qualifier, district champ, and a 4-year varsity wrestler.
Arm drag, looking to go behind. Arcangelo keeping that long reach. He got a long wingspan there, and he's able to keep that go behind. 44 seconds to go in the period, 2-1. Wendell. Coatesville. We have a Delaware guy at Coatesville.
Yeah, Jeff Delicapagni. Jeff Delicapagni was an ex-teammate of mine.
Saw him on Saturday here at the Mawa tournament.
Yeah, he is an assistant coach up in Coatesville. Been there a while. Just probably one of the best all-time William Penn wrestlers ever to come out of William Penn.
Was there a brother? Was there
Mike Delicapagni? Yes, Mike was more my age. Mike was like a senior when I was a sophomore. Then I was a senior when Jeff was a sophomore.
I got a couple off-air Jeff Delicapagni stories we can talk about afterwards. I never tell them on air. I see him whenever I see him. I saw him Saturday. He was here at the Mawa tournament, and I like to share. He's got a son, his oldest son, wrestling at Ursinus.
Yes. And me and Jeff were teammates, like I said, and we did a lot of wrestling. I remember we used to load up my car and drive down to the big matches back in the good old days. But I got stories too, off-air stories.
Yeah,
too.
off-air stories. Yeah, I hear you. 25-6. District 1 South leads. Right now it's 2-1. Wendell over Chase Arcangelo. Chase Arcangelo out of Smyrna High School. He gets the one. It's 2-2. And Arcangelo's going to have to get another shot off and finish one. This kid's tough to finish on, so we'll see how this match goes. And Arcangelo's another one, like I said, during the season. He's not flashy, but he quietly scores points, as I say. He usually has, on top with a good tilt.
Yeah, he's got hard to score on. Like I said, he's had all the shots. He just hadn't been able to finish them.
Well,
he's in tight here now again.
Right. He's got to get more of an angle here. Yes. This kid's in. It looks like he might go switch lift here. He's got the head over the leg over the head. Not going to get it. Arcangelo looking for a Peterson. Not there. Still has it. And this kid, he nice shoot on my legs. I like to scramble.
Yeah,
Brent Wendell, Coatesville High School. Looks like he must wrestle for Team Nauman in the offseason.
Yes.
And Arcangelo looking for a reverse cradle and just going body wizard and working his head out, and he might get the takedown here.
He's in bad position now. He's getting in bad position. He's going to give up two if you watch what he's doing here. Young man scramble was good from Coatesville.
The Coatesville Red Raiders. 45 seconds to go. Still 2-2. No takedown yet. Fans are yelling for stalemate here.
Cut to a double if you could. Get that right hand through there.
And looking for another Peterson roll, looks like. Not going to get it. Right now, Arcangelo's his range, long arms, long legs is
good position there, good position.
Yeah, he's going to a single. They might get a Merkle. No leg in. And no score. Nice scramble there, and no score out of it. And we're going to go to the third period where Wendell is going to take bottom in a 2-2 match.
Chase usually good on top. Let's see what he does here. If he tries to ride him, he lets him go. Nice tight waist. Get that tight waist drive to 12 o'clock.
There it goes. Keeping pressure forward, looking to bar it up.
Yep. Bar him up. You can bar him up, load him in your lap, and have a chance to get some back points. I still think it's going to come down to a takedown, Benny.
As Wendell comes to his feet. Matt return. Looks like he might have a low leg turn. Nope, gets the leg back out. Minute 30 to go in the period, in the match.
He's riding pretty tough on top, though. Keep trying to get that bar in. If you get that reinforcing there,
I think Chase is looking for a turn here, and I think that's what you have to do.
Yeah, he's turning.
It's the one count, get the 2 count. Kind of like you don't like to see guys just try to ride and kind of like the prevent defensive football. And Chase doesn't. He goes out and gets 3 back. He's now up 5-2 and puts the pressure on Wendell here with a minute to go.
Yeah, it was very nice. He worked 2 or 3 times, tried for the arm bar, then went to the tight waist tilt and got 3 points. And he's still dominating on top right now. A guy that rides good on top can break the will of a man on bottom.
Yeah, yes, he will. Under 40 seconds to go here in the period. Arcangelo looking for another reinforced bar tilt, and he's getting the swipes. And we said he's tough on top, and he's showing it right here.
Got 2. You see, let the move
and that's
go,
something that will serve him well. Moving on to college is being the ability to wrestle from the top position. 7-2. Arcangelo has under 20 seconds to go in the match. And he's not. He doesn't have enough. He's going for another tilt.
Got it too.
And he's going to get the major decision.
That was very nice by Chase.
Nice third period. Yes, it was. 10-2 major decision for Chase Arcangelo, the senior from Smyrna High School, headed to Cleveland State next season.
It's great to see Chase go for the major. He kept wrestling the whole time, but if you know Chase, he's a great young man too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's going to be a heck of a wrestler in college, but better person. So
we moved to 152 pounds for the District 1 All-Stars. Chase Stevens, he's also from Coatesville, 41-3, 154-21 over his career. He's a Chessmont League champion, district and region champion, and 4th in the PIAA, Pennsylvania State Tournament. And he's up against Timmy Griffith, Sanford High School, 40-7 this season, 95-45 career record. He was the Independence Conference champion and the state champion. And Marvin, this was one of those quiet guys throughout his career that came up this year and did the work in the offseason and won a state title.
He was, I'm like, he came out of nowhere, really. He wrestled well in the past, but he really came on the last
year, yeah.
Yeah.
52, as far as depth, may have been the most competitive weight class in the state. When I did the rankings during the year, and I mean, it was like I was changing them on a weekly basis, 152. Everybody, he took a loss to Jaquette from Cape and Lopin this season, came back and beat him in the state semis, but it was a weight class where everybody beat everybody headed into the state tournament.
Yeah, you looked at that weight class, and he was up there all year, but people didn't give him the credit he deserved.
Right.
And all he did was keep winning.
Right.
Just kept winning.
So Stevens with the early takedown. The team scored 25-12 for District 1. Yeah, I want to listen to see if Stevens will be wrestling. And we're 4th in the state of Pennsylvania. It would tell me he's going to be wrestling somewhere in college.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's 3 back. 5-0, Stevens.
He's dominating on top right now.
Well, Tennessee Chattanooga. So nice pickup for Tennessee Chattanooga.
Yes, it is. Another tilt. Got a 5 count now. Benny, 3 more points.
Now, Coach, are they a 2A, 3A, or are they a 2A or a 3A, 4A? Do you know?
They're the highest PA.
So they're the 4A.
They're dominant football. That's how I know.
Right.
Excellent football. Coachville Raiders.
Oh, got a little bit of Zane Rutherford in them here with the hook on the leg and the crossface. That usually gets stopped in high school. And then we had this discussion online when we were watching Zane Rutherford that
the pin?
No, more what Zane Rutherford's allowed to do, that we need to let more go here in Delaware.
Yeah. Well, I think if you go to the Beast, you watch the Beast, how it's ref differently. Our state is a lot softer than other states.
Right.
We call things a lot quicker here.
I agree, yes.
Than they do in other states.
11-0
I'm not saying that's a bad
period.
thing.
Right.
But it is.
Well, I think a lot of times, cement mixer. But Timmy Griffin's going to put him to his back on it.
2. I don't think he gave him any back points, but he did give you back 2 back. 2 and 2.
And I've also noticed, I'm not bashing our officials. I think they referee to the style of our wrestlers. I've noticed, like at the Beast and right there, they're a little quicker. Start calling his backs. They're.
Yeah, reffing's not easy.
No, not at all.
People. They don't understand. A lot of things happen so fast. I did ref a few years when I first came up.
As did I.
And I found out real quick it ain't too easy.
Yeah, if a referee came to me, which they won't, and asked me what I thought would improve Delaware wrestling, I would say, let a little more go.
Yes.
Back off on the potentially dangerous a little more.
Now, Keith Mumford out here, the head official tonight. Keith's one of our veterans, been around a long time. I've always valued his opinions, him and Joe LoBozo and his crew, and I think they do an excellent job. I think they're overworked sometimes.
Absolutely. You see him. I saw LoBozo working the Mawa tournament. Of course, it's upstate, so he's right in the neighborhood. But there's a guy that just had a great big long high school season and back out doing a Mawa qualifier.
I don't know if you talk to the refs. They're really short-handed right now. They are really trying to get young guys involved. A lot of guys leaving, getting older in age. We're thankful Mumford's still around.
He's been at it over 20 years.
We lost Josh Holloway last year, who was an excellent official. And, you keep losing good guys, you got to replace them.
Here comes a dump by Griffith. Little thigh pry in there by Stevens. And Stevens going to come out maybe with a leg in and get the takedown. Yes, he is. 14-4. They're watching the NCAA finals this weekend, and a lot of talk about the chaos. There's 2 more backs, makes it 14-4. The Penn State style, they go out and have fun. I wonder if that's going to change a lot of high school coaching philosophies.
Well, they'll be glad I'm going, Betty.
They're going to allow having fun in Marvin's room, right?
Well, I'm about having fun, but wrestling's just a sport. You got to be
right.
You got to expect more out of kids in wrestling. It's just a sport that you can't. You got to be in great shape.
Right.
You got to be physical.
Of course, when you're at Penn State and you're getting all the top recruits, you can have fun.
It was impressive to be 5 for 5 in the national finals, and to have 2 freshmen be 2 national champions.
Right.
Martina, the guy pinned Martina, it was just unbelievable.
Going
for his third championship, and then the young man who wasn't even going to wrestle this year, redshirted. Then they lifted his red shirt.
Right.
And to see that's just amazing. It's give Cale Sanders all the credit in the world to get them kids where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
They may be talented, but when he gets them, he polishes them.
You're right. And like I said, his philosophy. A lot of people talking about it in the wrestling world, and you see me and my summer talk about it. You see Iowa coming in, and everybody's got something wrapped up.
Right.
And that's that's the Iowa style. It's the Big Ten, and there's a mixer by Griffin, can't get it over.
Well, the thing adding that, Benny, you listen to him talk.
That's going to be a tech fall with that takedown. So tech fall for Chase Stevens. Go ahead, Marvin, finish that thought there.
Just talking about what he's talked about, having fun. He said he recruits his coaches. The coaches got to love the sport and have fun too.
That's
he don't want them either. So
right.
he starts his coaching staff, and you can see them guys have fun. You go to a national final, and they're in pressure. They were excited that go have fun, and you're there.
Well, and you look at their post-championship celebrations, and they were all still loose.
Yes,
they were still loose.
It was impressive. It was just. I'm a Penn State fan in other sports, so it's great
Right.
to see them do great in wrestling. And
So we move to 100, and I guess it's going to be 182. Austin Clayton out of St. George's High School, 35-5 on the season, 113-45 in his career. Blue Hen Conference champion, won a state title this year. And he's up against Sean McBride out of Coatesville, another Coatesville guy. 26-15 this season, 107-47 overall. Second in the Chestmont League, second in the district, fourth region, and a state qualifier. And that's a takedown right quickly by McBride. And you know, in this day and age of wrestling, everybody talks about those 100 wins. They might have to raise the bar to 150 now because you're wrestling so many matches anymore.
I look back when I wrestled, we only wrestled 2 tournaments here.
Right.
Belfort Invitational and then one other one, Ridley Classic or something. So you don't get the matches. You are right. I mean, they have to raise that bar a little
Right.
bit. I mean, give it Clayton, who won a state title for us at 182 from the Blue Hen Conference. You know, he had got beat in the dual team states
Right.
by a couple guys and come back and did a tremendous job to win a state title for St. George's.
St. George's coached by, 5-time state finalist Pat Atkinson, 4-time state champ.
And Pat Atkinson, this is Pat's first state champion.
Right.
Pat was assistant coach. I think they've only had 2 state champs in the school history.
Correct.
Pat was the assistant. This is Pat's first state champion, so congratulations to
Right.
Pat and St. George's and Mr. Clayton. I got to give Clayton a lot of credit.
Yeah, another kid. He's was quiet coming up through that freshman, sophomore, junior year. He started to make a little bit of noise, and he came out this year and just put together a great season. Like you said, took some losses during the season, but when talked to Paul Collier a lot on the broadcast, and he said Coach Bastianelli always said you only had to go undefeated for 4 matches at the end of the year.
He's right there. I mean, Clayton really came on at the right time. But the kid paid his dues, too. The kid was worked hard.
Right.
And
He's looking to work his way out of this. He's stepped over the leg, wants to get that right arm out, but can't.
Get that right on that. You get him 2 points. You run out of time.
Just can't get that right arm out.
There it is. He got no change.
No 2, so 2-0.
Thought maybe he would have gave 1 there. A chance to get 1, I thought. But I'm going to go with Mumford's call.
There you go. We gave him the props a few minutes ago, so we got to stick with it. 2-0. McBride leads. And Clayton comes to his feet. Hand fight here. Isolates a hand, and he's going to get the 1. 2-1 for Sean McBride out of Coatesville.
Yeah, McBride, 107 wins, only 47 losses. He's been around the mat a little bit. Second to Chesmont. I mean, I actually coached at Avon Grove High School for football. Chesmont's a tough conference.
Yeah, you got Avon Grove, and Avon Grove they brought some kids down at Mahwaz this weekend, some like JV kids and some middle school kids. And Frank McHugh, I believe, is the head coach up there. Used to work at the Howe camp.
Yep. Frank's been there a long time. Frank was there when I coached football.
Minute 19 to go here in the second period, 2-1. Arm throw, not there, and now he looks back for a back hook on the leg, maybe get a Pearson when the arm comes around. And Clayton's got a cradle, and he's tough with this thing.
He got 2
He's
anyway.
going to get a takedown out of it. 3-2, Zach Clayton.
He got that cradle on the hump, that cradle again. That long body, Benny.
Yeah, you're right.
He's going to score just if they get the bottom arm. He's scoring. Got a 1 count and a half a count. Get the cradle again.
I'm sorry, I've been calling him Zach. It's Austin Clayton. My apologies, folks.
That's my fault, Benny. I could have.
20 seconds left to go here in the second period. 3-2, Austin Clayton with the lead.
Keeps trying for that cradle. Riding tough. There it is again. He has it. Nah, not quite. 5 seconds here in the second period.
So St. George's, I guess they're one of the 3 schools in the Blue Hen below the canal. You got Apo and Middletown and now them. And there's talk that there might be another school going down there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Townsend.
Right.
Going to be in the Apo district.
It's growing that big, huh?
It truly is.
Well, in the 90s, Middletown was like a Division II school with like 500 students or so.
I keep looking for them to take one or two of them teams to the Henlopen.
Right.
Only because
Right.
there's so many schools on this side now.
Sure, yeah.
You know, even, I mean, I know it'd be a little bit travel, but Smyrna.
I wonder if I've never seen it where a district would have a team in 2 different conferences. That'd be interesting. Yeah, the Blue Hen, Henlopen's about 14 teams, and
Yes.
what's Blue Hen now, up to 20-some teams?
Yeah, we are very, very big. It's really hurting us. I think all the schools are hurting us.
Well, yeah, you don't get to pick up those, especially in football. You don't get to pick up those on non-conference games. You get 2.
Yes. The only thing that hurts you water down is the competition. I mean, basically what I mean is everyone's so spread their teams are not as good now because all the talent's over.
Then there's
Abroad.
a reversal by McBride.
Is up
I've always thought we maybe before we saw that we might say a VOTEC conference, some sort of VOTEC conference throughout the state.
There's
But-
enough teams now to do
Right.
it.
Only problem is Sussex Tech's the only one in Sussex County, and that would be a ton of traveling for them, and probably not going to see that happen. And Polytech and Kent County, I think you guys got over a handful of VOTECs and charters up north.
The VOTEC schools, we have a lot up here. I mean,
Right.
one thing I say about down south, usually they stay in their districts.
Right.
I mean, there's a few, but I mean, most of the kids stay in their districts. And up here, there's so much between VOTECs and charters. The public schools really are.
Well, and then of course you shut down. There is no true public school in the city of Wilmington.
No.
So those guys got to go somewhere. And now I think starting next year, this district, Red Clay, takes over all of Wilmington. Correct? Is that
Yes,
next year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll lose some students at William Penn. Christina will lose a lot.
Right. Christina, I always looked at that map, and when they did the redistricting up here, and they closed down the public schools, the Wilmington High School, and turned Howard into a charter or to a VOTEC, and if you look at the map of the Christina school district, it was like an island, looked like Hawaii. That little part of Wilmington, and that's hard. I'm driving up here on 95 today, and I'm watching the southbound lanes not moving at 5 o'clock at night.
Right.
So, it's hard to get kids to play sports. It's hard for the parents to go watch them. I think you spent some time at Christiana and probably suffered through that.
Yeah, Christiana, they've lost. They gained a lot when they've got half that city, but kids don't play sports because they want to get home.
They want to go home,
Decent hour.
exactly.
So you don't gain.
Yeah, you play an after-school sport at Christiana, you're not getting home till 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's a late night.
Looking to go behind is Austin Clayton. 4 seconds on the clock. He needs the 2 here to tie it. And time's going to run out. That's a regular decision for Sean McBride out of Coatesville.
That was a
And
very good
District
match.
1 South goes up 33-10.
Clayton had that cradle a few times. He just couldn't score with it. He had it, just couldn't score with it.
So we're going to move to 100, we're going to move to 285. And for the PA District 1 South All-Stars, Anthony Goodman out of Marple Newton, 27-9, 69-27, Central League champion, district champion, and 6th in the region. And he goes up against Brian Wines out of Milford, 34-3 this year, 109-36 for his career. 2-time runner-up in the Henlopen Conference, and this year a state champion. And those 3 losses were against the same guy this year, Zach Fuentes, the Cape Henlopen 285-pounder, who he finally beat in the state finals. What double ride-out.
Well, he won the most important one.
Win the one that matters, right?
Yeah, right. He wrestled him 3 times and lost to him. Wrestled really smart. I think Don and him probably changed the game plan a little bit. I know talking to Don the first couple losses, Don was telling me that he told me to try things in the last match. He said, I don't care if they don't work. We got to find out if they do work so we can have a plan.
Right.
So, Don's one of the better coaches in the state. So,
Right.
made the right adjustments. And then, of course, Wines had to go perfect it.
He's talked about Don Parsley, Greensburg-Salem, wrestled for Rob Waller. And then went on to Lock Haven, had a pretty good career at Lock Haven. And a couple of years ago when he was out of coaching for a while, he did some broadcasts with me, and the number of people he knows in the sport of wrestling is amazing.
Yeah, Don's a great technician. You ever get a chance to listen to him teach? And sometimes probably doesn't get the props he deserves.
Right. And
Yeah.
Marple Newton, the connection to Marple Newton, a lot of people that watch the movie Foxcatcher, that's right in that area. It's
Yeah.
oh, what's the name of that town up there? I know Marple Newton is a town, but I think the whole Foxcatcher farm was in that right in their neighborhood.
Foxcatcher.
About 4,000 homes now up there, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
No takedown there. Wine's able to fight it off. 18 seconds to go in the period, trying to square up. Could have been looking to go behind. Goes to the front end now, looking near outside cradle. Got to put him to that hip. 10 seconds to go. Yeah, I think Wines needs to be working on that lock here. He's just trying to stay on his feet, and he's going to do it. Time runs out. 0-0.
That was too, you don't see heavyweight scramble like that too often.
No.
They actually scrambled pretty good. Wines had wrestled my son a few times the year before. So we know Wines. I've studied Wines a little bit because we were wrestling.
When met him around the I always said the one thing he was lacking was confidence, and and that was something that Don was able to instill in him in that last week of the season. And hits a switch, not there. Now he's looking at another cradle here. He's got to fight off, and it's a minute 45 to go.
Now I was talking to Don before the state finals, and he was talking about this young man. That all the kids he's coached is one of the best ones he's ever coached.
Right.
That's always good to hear about a kid that's got great character.
Right. And now low leg cradle. Just can't manage to lock this up. And Wines needs to get those hips going the other way. He keeps turning up that switch and putting himself right back in that cradle.
Come on, get you one here. He's in bad shape
now. He's going to be in big trouble here with a minute to go. He gets put to his back.
It doesn't look good for us.
Nah, he looks tight. That's a pin, 39-10 for District 1 South.
He put himself in bad positions there. I mean, he kept trying for something and put himself in bad position.
Yeah, I believe we're going to have Dylan Peters going to go out and wrestle, I believe, 106 now. Or no, he's going to wrestle 113 now. So he'll be wrestling twice tonight.
His first match was really good. He lost 6-4, but he came within had a one count twice, would have tied the match up. That was when we were off air for a little bit.
Right.
But he could have tied the match up.
So we have two guys that are going to re-wrestle here to give the PA South guys matches. And now 106, I understand we probably don't have too many senior 106-pounders. Not too many senior 113-pounders either. Peter's probably one of the few. So now he's going to wrestle as a 113-pound match, and he's going to be going up against Jeremy Gannon out of Chichester, 21-9 this season, 51-31 on his career, second in the Del Valley League, fourth in the districts. And this is Dylan Peters from Delaware Military Academy, 30-16, third in the Independent State Conference, or Independent Conference, and a state qualifier. And DMA, how long have they been in school? 10, 15 years now?
It's been about 10 years now.
I think they're what they call a magnet school, correct, in the Red Clay School District.
Yes. To me, it's like a VOTEC or a charter, in my opinion. Takes from the public.
Yeah, very true, yeah. And I guess basically they've assumed the role of I guess it would be Dickinson as the rival to Conrad now. I think used back in many years ago. Was it Conrad and Dickinson were the big rivals?
Conrad, Dickinson, and the Red Clay were always the big two schools. DMA really has come on all sports. I mean, I actually coached baseball there for 2 years. Excellent school, ran great.
Put a guy in the majors, or at least in the minors?
Yes, he's actually doing. Actually, was MVP last year.
Right.
Hill.
Yep.
I coached him, and I think I left his senior year. But good athletes there. They get a good kid, which is really always, as a coach, you get a good kid.
Right.
Fun to coach them.
So 2-0 here for Gannon. Delaware Military, coached by the Kelly brothers. A couple of former St. Elizabeth guys. Still a school, but no longer has a wrestling program.
My daughter graduated from there, and I think 2008. I think 2006 they
It
gave
went
Russell.
down. It went right after that.
Yeah, so
about 2008,
It was-
2009.
When she was in there, they
Right.
stopped it. And they had some good guys come out of there.
Yeah.
Never great teams. But Sam Pioli was the coach. He always fought the
Highest
numbers
point of Wilmington, isn't it?
game. Yep.
St. Andrews, St. Elizabeth School, on the top of the hill.
Yeah, my
in
daughter
Wilmington.
graduated. 2008, my daughter went there. So we made that trip a lot from Newark.
Right. Shot by Peters. Got to get an angle here.
We've been in a lot of shots, but we haven't finished a lot tonight. We've been in a lot of shots.
He needs to get backside here and get an angle and finish this, and it's not going to happen as he breaks his lock. So 2-0, minute 39 to go in the second period. And I can remember as a young kid talking about Conrad and Dickinson and the Delaware military coming up as a young kid, heading up to that Minkledale area for those Saturday morning Blue Hen Conference games and the Conrad Redskin band, and bringing it back now. They're a charter school now. School of Arts and Sciences, I believe.
Yes, it's really growing around here. A lot of people wanting to get in there.
Right.
I mean, changed their name now. They're no longer Redskins.
Yeah, they're the Conrad Athletic Program.
Yeah. I don't even know what their new name
Red
is.
Wolves or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know.
That's a shame. Tradition.
Yep.
I mean,
We have one charter school downstate, and it's only, I think, maybe to their sophomore year, maybe juniors. I'm not sure. Sussex Academy in Georgetown. You know who the athletic director is? Steve Bacinelli,
I did hear that.
former
Newark.
three-time Delaware State
Yep.
champ, longtime coach at St. Mark's, Hall of Famer.
Long time AD at Newark.
Right.
He's back down south.
I left Newcastle County in, 76, and it's changed so much in that time. It's almost like not the same place anymore. The schools are all different. And
Oh, it's a lot different now.
yep. 4-0 for Gannon. And there's an escape by Peters. Makes it 4-1 as the clock winds down in the second period.
You know, to see guys wrestle twice for Delaware is really a shame.
Yeah, I agree.
Not against him, but it's a shame that our guys don't commit to being here.
Right.
I mean,
we're missing, and we won't call them up. We're missing some state champs. And maybe they're playing spring sports because, like you said, our season ends so early, and then March 1. I mean, baseball starts Wednesday. Starts tomorrow. First games are
Yeah,
tomorrow.
we were scheduled to play. Well, they just moved our game to Thursday.
Well, that's because the fields are white up here.
Yeah. Well,
A lot
actually,
of snow. I was looking at that baseball field. They just did get the snow
yes.
off the field.
Well, tomorrow is supposed to be 30 degrees and 35
Right.
mile wind. So St. George's Coach Rogers and I decided together today we moved to Thursday. So
Right.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. 4-1 here for Gannon. Talk a lot about the Delaware history. We would talk about more UPA guys. You just don't know much about the area, but I can tell you what, I'm impressed with what I've seen so far tonight with this team. Like I said, I look down the list. I see one state place winner, and they are thumping the Delaware All-Stars right now, 39-10 with two matches left.
They've been dominant in all three positions.
Right.
They really have. They've been dominant in all three phases. They've been aggressive, and conditioning's played a big factor in this thing. I can't emphasize it enough. Their
Right.
conditioning compared to our conditioning is.
Right.
And,
Well, their states were 2 weeks ago. So
yes, and that's long. Usually, it's
Right.
closer to us to them.
Right.
So that's actually longer than they've usually been this match.
And to Delaware's credit, a lot of our state champs are underclassmen this year. So
Yes, which is good for the state.
right.
For wrestling in the state. I think Delaware wrestling downstate, like I said, is where it needs to be.
Right.
Upstate, we've got to
Right.
do some things.
Well, I'm getting back to Steve and all they do and all the DWA does. I mean, just for the fact that they give you the opportunity they give you at the Beast of the East, that's a part of giving back too. Coming to this event is a part of giving back, and I hope more kids start looking at it that way. Again, spring sports probably not helping us.
Well, I think it all starts with the coaches. I mean,
Right.
I push my guys to do it. My son last year shouldn't have even wrestled in this. He had a bad knee, but
Right.
we thought we owed it to the Delaware Wrestling Alliance for all they did for all of our
Right.
guys. So
I
I
was
told
talking
him,
about his son Brandon Dooley. He was a state champ as a junior, and he's another kid that probably shouldn't have wrestled his senior year. But you weren't going to be able to keep him out. He suffered a knee injury, and And I understand he suffered it again in college playing football, correct?
Yeah, he actually did the first day of practice, missed the whole entire season, but last year he wasn't supposed to come back. But I asked him, he asked me if he could do it, and what we decided was that he told me he could accept losing. He couldn't accept not 20 years from now, not at least giving it a try. So, and he came within the double overtime of getting 2 state titles. So I was more proud of him in the loss than I was the win.
Sure. That's a 4-1 win for Gannon. So we move to our last match of the night, and it's going to be for Delaware. Dominic Huffing wrestling again, 38-7, second in the Henley Open Conference, third in the state, and he's going to be going up against
Lawson. This is Lawson.
They're moving Lawson out first.
Yes.
Okay.
Lawson is going to face Frame.
Corey Lawson coming out for his second match. Corey Lawson, 42-4, Henley Open Conference champ, 2-time state champion. And he's going to be up against Weston Frame out of Westchester Henderson, 24-15 this year, 75-59, fifth in the Chestmont, sixth in the district.
Now, I was really impressed with Corey during the season. I tell you, the first match he looked sluggish, but during the season he really wrestled well all year long and had some real great battles with Batista, who I tell you in the state tournament, I tell you, they both were champions.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Batista got beat in the finals, and it was great to see a kid show class.
Right.
Lost like a champion. And,
right.
If you watch a lot of guys doing that night, there was some stuff at this.
Well, exactly. We didn't see 14 guys lose like champions. You're absolutely correct. Right. And Delaware's really moving towards the sportsmanship thing. You go to these gyms and you see the sportsmanship banners, and I was talking to some referees where I like the soccer rule where you get 4 red cards or 3 red cards in a season. You set an event. Maybe wrestling needs to look at that.
Well, I'm not going to call out teams, but there's some guys that need to be held accountable. The bottom line is our state gets labeled.
Right.
It's probably about 3 or 4 schools that let things happen.
Right.
Bottom line, it was great to see Batista. Not that he lost. He wanted to be a state champ too.
Right.
But to lose like a champion. Got up, shook the guy's hand, walked off the mat, hugged his coach.
Right.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't be mad when you lose. I'm not saying that, 'cause I'm competitive, but there's a way to handle it.
Absolutely.
Defeat.
2-0 for Corey Lawson. He gets the takedown here in the first period. Westchester Henderson. Westchester, another. Yeah, I think they have 3 schools there too, right? Westchester Henderson, East, and there's one other, is there not?
There's Westchester Henderson. Ruston.
Right.
And Westchester East. Yep. And kind of like Middletown's going to be here soon.
You're right. Except without a college or a university.
Yes.
Delaware, we talked about bringing wrestling back to University of Delaware. It's not going to happen. And I think if we want wrestling in the first state, I think the place to look is a Division III program at Wesley. If you want NCAA wrestling, I think that's the place to go. It's Division III is growing in the sport of wrestling. 2-1 here as here in the period. Not sure if Lawson's a lacrosse player or not. I know he plays football. But he's Cape and Open guy up here today, wrestling 2 matches.
And he wrestled tough all year. He really impressed me all year. He really did.
No decision on college yet, as we heard earlier in his bio. We talk about college choices, and then, of course, everybody wants to be a Division I wrestler. We saw the championships this weekend. Like I said, the fastest growing wrestling right now is Division III, and there's a lot of programs within 2 hours of us right now. I think a lot of kids got to start looking to head into those programs.
Well, Division I wrestling, man, I tell you, it's a life change.
You're right.
It really is. If you're really going to be a Division I wrestler, it's going to be 12 months a year.
Right. For 5 years.
Yes, it's just the way it is. And we got a lot of kids here. I think they may think they're Division I wrestlers,
right?
But they need to look at where they can fit and where they can compete.
Right. Well, and when you have more programs, you have more opportunity. I know my son got a great opportunity in Division III, going to McDaniel College, and was a three-year starter there. And he got to come home to the beach in the summers, but he wasn't a beach guy. He was in the gym, he was running, and he was doing the things he needed to do, working out when he could,
But he got a chance to compete.
Right.
The bottom line is, you go, some of these guys go to Division I, they're going to just sit there.
Right. Vontae Drummond, Milford High state champ, just finished his career also at McDaniel College. Was a 2-time qualifier region champion, conference. He was Centennial Conference Wrestler of the Year this season. So, he could have gone to a D1 school and maybe gotten in some open tournaments, but he got to have a fun career out of it.
Yes. I mean, get your education.
Right.
Get a chance to wrestle a little bit. Great.
Chris Donaldson, All-American out of Versailles from Slades Animal High School. So.
That's what it's all about. You get your education first, and then you get a chance to wrestle. Your son had a great high school career too, but then went on to get his education and had a good career in college.
Right. 23 seconds to go here in the second period. Lawson leads 2-1.
He's got one.
Yeah, make that 3-1 as he gets the escape, and looking to go behind with 15 seconds to go.
Lawson earned that point. Now, third period coming here.
So this match, we could see this come down to a takedown, as I'm sure Frame's going to take bottom. And he is. He'll take bottom, trailing 3-1. District 1 South leads 42-10. This match and one other left on the night. Now, I noticed the mat light's going here. Last year, time I was here, it was like 10 feet off the mat.
They didn't use it in the conference finals either, so I don't know.
It looks like that's a part of it hanging up there. Lawson drops down to a single, takes it to a cradle, and he's going to take him to his back here, getting the swipes, looking for the fall. And he's going to get 2 back points, 5-1 for Lawson. Lawson wrestled earlier tonight up. Decision. This match, he's up 6-2 with 1:14 to go.
He was in that match early, right. He just didn't score. I mean, he was sort of having.
We talked about that kid earlier, and his like I said, his high crotch was on point. It was a left-handed high crotch too. Lawson looking to dig in that underhook on the edge. 52 seconds to go in the period. And folks, as Marvin joins me tonight, next year as he goes into retirement as a wrestling coach, is going to be helping us with some Upstate 302 broadcast here in the sport of wrestling. So happy to have him on, get him here tonight, and show him the ropes, as we say, a little bit.
Well, Benny, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be honest with you. I love the sport of wrestling and get a chance to be in the best seat in the house.
Right.
And I can critique the other coaches like they critique me for all the years.
And officials.
Yeah, right. So it's good to be on this side. Listen to the name calling.
And we'll be doing more. We did one Blue Hen match this year. Middletown will get. A throw by Lawson, gets the 2 for the takedown, getting the backs, and time runs out. 2 backs, 10-2. Corey Lawson puts Delaware on the board, 42-14. And we head to the last match of the night as Dominic Covington comes back on the mat. 38-7 this season, second in the Henlopen Conference, third in the state. And he'll be wrestling Michael McGuire out of Unionville, 35-8. Career record of 77-42, second in the Chestmont League, district champion, fourth in the region, and a state qualifier. So last match of the night, Dominic Covington, all-conference linebacker. I watched a couple of his games this year. As we, folks, when you watch 302 Sports, you can watch 302 Football, as we also cover usually 2 to 3 games a week. And we saw Covington playing for the Milford Buccaneers this year.
He wrestled the first match that he lost 11-2, but he was in there. He got thrown. There was one 5-point move in there. If you take that away, it's a lot closer match.
Right. He's out early with a takedown. Sometimes used as a bruising fullback. I know late in the season when they lost their running back David Bowman, they went to him and slow the game down type of thing. And he goes out there and does nothing but gain a couple 100 yards in a couple games. I think football is in his plans. Got a younger brother, Kyrie Covington. Kyrie Covington, matter of fact, at the state duels was the Division II outstanding wrestler on the 302 broadcast. He had a huge win in that match against Indian River in the finals.
And Milford had an excellent year. That final match in the River really impressive. I mean, both
Right.
teams wrestled great in that match. Like we said before, that was by far the best dual meet state tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Said that to Ron Eby, longtime coach and supporter of Delaware Wrestling, who walked out, and I just thought it was just all around. I mean, even the semis, we had some tight semi matches, And next year we'll try to bring the semis as well. This year we brought the state finals on 302 Sports. But now I hear they're talking about Saturday, wrestling that tournament on Saturday next year.
Is that true?
That's what I heard. I don't know if that's official yet.
Well, I did hear that at the coaches meeting. They talked about that.
And there's another takedown by Hovington. He goes up 4-1.
And that decision is due to students getting home so late at night on school nights. That's what's going to make a decision.
Solve the state tournament problem, the individual state tournament problem is, you guys have, my wife's a school teacher, so I kind of know when those in-service days come up. And there's an in-service day the week before the state tournament, the conference weekend. Move that to the next Friday. Go back to Dover, 4 match, start that tournament at 2 o'clock.
Right.
And get out at a decent time on Friday night, and then you can stay 4 matches for Saturday. Because you also, that same weekend, you have swimming championships and indoor track. So you have 3 state championships that weekend. Move the in-service day to that weekend.
I like it, Benny.
All right.
I don't get a vote.
I should be a superintendent. I'll pick a district.
Covington up 6-3 here.
Second period, minute 52 to go. Sometimes you have to look outside the box, and being outside of education, Of course, I don't have as many things to worry about as those guys do. I can just worry about the state tournament on a Friday night having 5 matches as opposed to 4.
I wouldn't want Tommy Newbauer's job.
No. Not even Tommy. That's got to come from a DOE decision to move that in-service day. But
a lot of responsibility, a lot of decisions.
Tommy Newbauer does an excellent job. His first full year as taking over for Kevin Charles, and got to meet him during football, doing some broadcasts and wrestling, and always accessible. If you need something, you call him or you email him, and he's very accessible. Likes likes what we're doing. He thinks it's great for the kids in sports, which I agree.
Anytime you give kids exposure, 302 Sports does a great job of giving kids exposure. That's why when I was asked to do some stuff with it, I wanted to be a part of it.
Right.
Anytime
main man Nick Halliday is the man behind 302 Sports, and it's basically a hobby.
Yeah, me and Nick are old softball buddies, and also YMCA buddies.
Oh, another takedown by Hovington, up 8-3. So total turnaround from his first match.
(8-3), 32 seconds on the second period.
When I first started, I did some football radio, and I was a little nervous. I was like, man, how do you do play-by-play? Somebody told me, just watch what's going on and tell everybody else what's happening. Tell everybody what you just saw. So,
well, I've always thought the same thing and be a little nervous, but then you make it easy. You keep asking me questions. I just keep answering them.
Just like soft toss.
Right.
8-4 as McGuire gets a takedown here late in the second period, and that's the under 20 seconds. I don't know about you, Marvin. I call that the zone. You don't get scored on in the zone, and Hovington let one get away. So it's 8-6. Hovington with choice, and he's going to take bottom. And the last time we saw a Delaware guy with a lead, he got pinned here. So Hovington's going to have to work on bottom. And in comes the boot and the cradle.
Got it, too. He has the cradle. Definitely got locked up on it.
And he's got the good wrestler grip, too.
They scored. He's going to score. He got broke off. Nice shot by
Hovington, big, strong kid. It's going to be hard to turn him over that way. You're going to have to get hip to hip and try to pull him back. Again, thanks to the Delaware Wrestling Alliance that puts on this event every year. Ayotapon High School. Donna Silvestri for Condo. Steve Lex. Tommy Abbott throwing us some nice sweatshirts here. And
that was very nice.
Vic Leonard was here earlier. Ed Janvier, longtime official. And
Ed's going in the Hall of Fame this year.
Yes, correct.
Ed ref.
Conrad guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he refed a lot of my matches when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm. Minute 10 to go here in the third period. Hovington on bottom, but he leads 8-6. McGuire working hard to get the turns, tried a couple cradles. Now he's going inside wrist, trying to pull it out to the back.
Right now he looks like he's got the arm lock, but not be able to get an advantage with it.
All right.
I think that's the right call there. Stalemate, get him back up, start over.
44 seconds to go. And Hovington's going to have to seal off his holes this time because the last restart, it was just too easy getting the boots in. Going in with Ed Jonvier, Buddy Lloyd, Henry Milligan, and Roy Rigby. Roy Rigby, I think, coached maybe the best wrestling team in the state of Delaware down in Milford in 81 and 82. Or excuse me, 80 and 81. Huh?
Did they have 10 state champs one time?
He had 6 back when they had the 12-man,
Okay.
12 weight classes. But I wrestled against those guys, and they were dominant, just dominant. 2 back-to-back state titles.
Roy's a class guy. I mean, Rigby. I mean, Harry Rigby, Jack Holloway, and Mike Dolan are the guys why I wanted to coach.
Right.
All 3 of them guys were guys I idolized.
And that's a win for Dominique Hovington. That makes the final score. PA District 1 South 42, Delaware 17. Again, thanks to the TWA and the PA AA All-Stars. Thanks Marvin Dooley for joining me here. And one thing I noticed about this match was it was competitive, but the guys had a good time doing it. The wrestlers had a good time. The coaches had a good time. And like I said, you said, I'd like to see more coaches push their guys, push our state champs to be here. We threw out our team with a couple state champs, and this is great competition.
Well, I agree with you, Benny. On it's about ending your career on a high note. I mean, no matter what, my son wrestled last year. He got beaten this thing too, but the thing at the end, it's a memory, and you never get it back. So, thank the guys that competed. Thank the officials. Everybody volunteered their time tonight, so it's great to see, like you say, see the kids go out with smiles on their face.
Right. So for 302 Sports and Marvin Dooley, I'm Benny Mitchell. Folks, have a good night. And join us back. We're going to be doing some lacrosse on 302 Sports. You might be able to see some baseball, softball, but we'll definitely be hitting some lacrosse. And then 302 Sports switches over to the NFHS network for all Delaware State Championship events. And I'll be back come football season. Not sure who's going to – how did they decide the kickoff classic? When does that usually come out?
That's actually be about 3 weeks from now to be voted on.
Good. Okay, so usually there's an upstate and a downstate game, and we'll definitely 302 Sports will be there, and we're going to carry all 10 weeks of the season in the state tournament. And so stay with us on 302 Sports. You can go to 302sports.com, check our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram accounts, or you can go to our YouTube account and just search 302 Sports. That's it. That's a wrap from Mayotte High School. I'm Benny Mitchell, folks. Have a good night.